to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast about hip hop, entertainment, dating, sex, relationships, and social issues from a sometimes ratchet but mostly woke perspective. So listen and subscribe to That's What I'm Saying. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can listen to us. Also, watch That's What I'm Saying, the TV show, weekdays on Island TV, or just download the Island TV app. Follow us on Instagram at TwizPod. So I'm Shaun.
And I'm Shatara.
Hey, sis. Hey. So we got to do this because today we have a very special guest in our studios. We got 3 studios over here. Aries Spears. Woo! So this is a man that needs no introduction, but he will get an introduction. Okay. So first of all, Aries Spears, born in Chi-Town, but New York, New Jersey raised, just like us. Started comedy at the age of 14, doing stand-up at a bunch of clubs. I remember seeing you back in the day in Harlem at the Uptown Comedy Club. You made your first appearance on the Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam. We all remember that. Showtime at the Apollo. Remember that. You was on A Different World. You've done the Comedy Store. You've also been on Malcolm X. And I remember you on, what's that show with Tom Cruise? What's the TV show?
Jerry Maguire. Was it Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire.
The movie.
A regular on Mad TV. What's that?
That was a movie.
That was a movie.
I said a show. A movie. A whole movie. A whole A-list celebrity movie. Hollywood movie. Big budget movie. You were also a regular on Mad TV. So you got over 32 years in the game. Controversial, hands down, one of the funniest, in my opinion, one of the most intelligent, and one of the most underrated comedians. So I want to thank you really for coming on the show today.
I saw y'all out.
Oh, shoot.
And you did. And we are so appreciative. I want to know why. What was that all about? It was a good thing.
Because I'm constantly trying to grow my podcast, and I know one of the main ingredients to grow your podcast is to do other people's podcasts. And I specifically sought y'all out because I'm trying to grow a female fan base. So I thought, as many women as we might have on my podcast, I need to grow my female audience, specifically my Black female audience. So I thought, you know what? Let me ask these 2 queens if they would allow King to come on their podcast to grow my podcast.
Okay.
Love it.
That's good. Thanks. Good thinking. Good. That's a smart man right there.
Glad y'all.
Good strategy. So for me, you're the king of impersonations, and you definitely wear a crown in comedy. I too am a stand-up comedian. So this is definitely a moment for me. I'm like, oh shoot. I have to ask you, especially starting off so young, like being young is a big deal. Starting out young, when did you know like stand-up was your calling? Like when did you know like this is what I'm doing? Like
in my teen years, I kind of felt like I always when I was 7, 8 years old, date myself because I come from the 80s. So when video cameras became a thing, I was all up for the family in front of the camera. But, watching Eddie Murphy on SNL, I kind of felt like I always wanted to be something special in front of the camera. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. So I thought I'd be a boxer until I learned you got to discipline and eat right. Which that kind of stock. My mother's from Mississippi. My father's from Tennessee.
Hey.
Salt and grease was relevant in our house. And I thought I was going to be a rapper because I love rap, but I just don't have the skill set.
Right.
But funny is something I've always known. Funny's always.
Right. So 7, 8 years old, it hit you like, this is going to be it. Get that VHS camera.
Hit me, but I didn't really start trying to do it for real until I was like 14.
14. So who were like, and I always think about, it takes a village of people, especially at that age, the business behind it. And, you're still a child. You mentioned your mom and dad. Who were the people in your village supporting you, while you honed your craft, like at that time?
My mom and my dad, but mainly my mother. She was kind of Catherine Jackson to Michael, because my mother's a jazz and blues singer. And back in the 80s. She used to sing with Lionel Hampton, the legendary jazz artist. He had a picture of her performing at the White House in front of Reagan. So my mom was my main driving force. My father was always funny, but he didn't really have the guts to really do it. So my mother really was my driving force. She pushed me.
Mom pushed you. Okay, okay. I would say, yeah, I definitely come from a family where they push me onto the stage. Big time. Funny in the house, absolutely. But as far as getting on the stage, that's a different thing. That's a whole different thing, right? You can be funny, but yeah, my family definitely, that's my village right there. So I get it.
So I have a question. You know, we just gonna get into it, and if you whatever. So I've seen you at a couple of different, and I've seen you over decades. So I can say, you know, starting out New York, New Jersey, the little circuit. I went to Rutgers, New Brunswick. I remember seeing you at
Oh shoot.
yeah. I mean, I can go way back.
New Brunswick.
Yeah, yeah. At Rutgers, you did a show. I want to say that was on College George Avenue. It was like one of them little spots. I mean,
hold on. Let me ask. To the young beautiful lady talking just now. What's your name?
Shaun.
Shaun, let me ask you. You said New Brunswick. Do you remember when New Brunswick, Livingston Avenue used to be all black?
Absolutely, because Livingston, the college that's where all the black kids were.
It's all Mexican.
Oh, really?
When's the last time you've been to Jersey?
Well, been to Jersey maybe year before last, but I haven't been to Rutgers in years. I've been down that area. I can't even believe it.
Dramatically changed.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't. It's been at least 10 years that I've been down there. But you know, Livingston was like going to Newark. That was like you want, yeah. That was the whole area. But that was the time. So you see, like I can go back with you. I remember that. I remember the Uptown Comedy Club in Harlem. You know, some spots in the Village. So you've been honing this for a while, and I am you know, my sister Shatara is a stand-up comedian, but you know, so we got a thing with funny. We like going to comedy, and I like comedians that make you think. You know, it might not be for everybody, but they make you think. So you've always been that person for me. Like I brought a bunch of people with me. Like a couple weeks ago, you were here in Fort Lauderdale and in Dania Beach. And I brought a crew. I was like, y'all don't know, and you did not disappoint. So, but I have to ask you this, because every time that I've seen you, and well, recently, I think Andy Steinberg opened up for you, and he's funny. He's you know, I love him, but there's been a thing that says that you don't allow Black comedians to open up for you. What's that all about?
Untrue.
Okay.
Untrue. My first comedian, when I first started going on the road, my guy that would open up for me was a Black brother by the name of Gerard Guillory out of Atlanta. And it's not that I don't allow Black. My thing is this. My audience is very mixed, very, you know, different nationalities. And I don't want to give a Def Jam show. So if the host comes out and he does a lot of Black, white material, the feature comes out, he does a lot of Black, white material. And once upon a time ago, I don't do it as much as I used to. But if I do 20 minutes of Black, white material, it's too much.
Yeah.
I don't care how good something is. It's too much. So if I have a diverse audience, I want my material and the show to be diverse. So it's not that I have a problem with Black comedians. It's just that a lot of Black comedians tend to talk about the same things. How many bitches got weed? Oh, well, broke motherfuckers, roaches. And that's fine to an extent, but I don't want that to be the end all be all to my show.
Okay.
So because I'm the headliner, AKA the star of the show, and I've earned my stripes, I get to call what I want.
Okay.
So if you're a Black comedian and we're not going to bang heads and we're not going to do the same shit, I welcome you. But if your limitation is strictly stereotypical humor and the same old, well then no, I don't need you on my show. And again, I've been doing this 33 years. I've earned my stripes. I don't owe nobody any explanation.
Damn.
I'm the man who think the fuck I look like explaining to an undercard.
I hear that.
Okay, so since you're working on your female Black queen fan base, that's what you said, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
So how are we gonna work this out so that way you have someone such as a Shatara on your show? We're gonna work that out. We'll have to work that out. She's not.
We gotta take it as it goes.
Yeah, let's figure that out because that could work.
I take what the defense gives me.
Let's
Depending
work
on
it out.
I'll respond accordingly.
Okay, because I'm not your stereotypical. This could work out.
I see, because you have a bonnet on your head.
Yeah, this is not a bonnet.
No, not a bonnet.
This is not a bonnet, sweetheart.
No,
this is a head wrap. This is a head wrap. But you know, call it as you may. The fun.
I love it.
Thank you.
Lucille Ball. It's giving me Lucille Ball. Did you do that?
The Lucille Ball?
Yeah, you know, she wore that.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a Black thing, you know, hands down.
That's a little different, but okay.
Wait, I have another question. Okay, wait. So I have another question. So I'm like, hold on. So out of all your great impressions, you know, who is your favorite? Like, I know you have a lot of people request, and I know that probably gets on your nerves sometimes, but who's your one that anytime, any day you can get into? I'm talking maybe somebody from years back, whoever it is. Like, who is your personal favorite to impersonate?
Anybody that's new. It's like a new toy. You know what I'm saying? You get infatuated with the fact that it's new. So you want to play with it. You want to hit it from different angles. You want to see how you figure it out. So anything that's new.
Anything that's new. So who's your...
My favorite is DMX. Your DMX. By far.
I'm a huge Sopranos fan.
Yeah.
So James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano. And plus, that's not one that's expected. Everybody, if you're Black, do impressions, they expect you to hit all the Black ones. But when you can do a white dude that's Italian
dude from Jersey.
Right.
Jersey. I took all of my guys. Uncle Phil, Paulie, Christopher, Uncle Junior, Johnny fucking Shaq, the king of the fucking New Jersey.
Yo, that's Tony. Carmella. Where's Carmella?
Right.
Carmella, my fucking wife, my kids, better with AJ. You know the deal.
Wait. Speaking of HBO shows, and I know this question was supposed to come down the line. Did you happen to watch Game of Thrones? Just random. I just wanted to know random.
I'm gonna be hated for this.
Go for it.
But I know Game of Thrones was beloved, but I thought it was one of the most overrated shows ever. I never Game of Thrones.
Never.
You never watched it? You never watched it?
I tried.
Okay.
Couldn't get it.
Man.
You couldn't get into it. Okay, because I know you're a man who likes dialogue. And Game of Thrones is full of dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm gonna have to ask, was Game of Thrones, you know, a show that he rocked with? So are you watching like Snowfall right now?
You could appreciate the pussy, but not the woman.
Oh shit.
Well,
damn it. That was deep right there. Damn it. You done took us to church. That's a Sunday sermon right there. Hold on a minute now. I'll write that shit down. Put it on the refrigerator. Hold on a minute now.
You're like, you know what?
Wait, are you watching like Snowfall? Are you a fan?
I love Snowfall.
Okay.
When I talk about it on my podcast, I go, you know, a lot of people will watch TV shows week to week to week. I call it, you know, binge watching. I like to eat a whole bag of chips at once. Yeah. So I wait till the whole season plays out. And then I watch from episode 1 final. The show is that good, I can't wait till next week.
The whole week, right?
Once you got me. So if I'm gonna watch, I gotta open a bag of chips and eat the whole bag.
I'm like that too. I like to save episodes, but like piling up, like, oh, I got, you know, that's why I be behind, because I'm like, I got 4 of them.
That's how they did us. They kind of gave it to you here and there. But that's a good ass show. A lot of good dialogue too. You got to kind of listen to what Franklin is saying, right? Like,
I am the devil. I am the devil.
Let me tell you something. My favorite shows: Snowfall, Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yes.
Tulsa King.
Okay.
And I'm gonna really date myself here, but of course, The Sopranos was like my number one.
That's a classic.
Of
But
course.
one of my favorite TV shows ever, and I own the Pink Velvet DVD 6-season case. Sex in the City.
Wait, I'm over here stuck like a mannequin. Like what?
Charlotte Miranda.
God,
Charlotte Miranda.
Aries, all my girls.
I'm
so confused right now.
Now that was a good show that I watched since I was 15 years old.
Writing was miraculous.
It was good. It was good. Who's your favorite character from that show? That damn show.
Of course, Big and Aiden.
Oh, Aiden with the baby thing in front of him and surprise.
Aiden was just a flower child, wasn't he? Which one was Aiden? Aiden was Carrie's the boyfriend, right? That was kind of.
Aiden is every good man.
He was so nice.
Now,
yes.
That she wants bad boy. She want Mr. Big.
She didn't. Yeah, he didn't bring the pain like.
He was a good guy.
Hated Berger and Petrovsky.
Petrovsky was an asshole. Yeah. Petrovsky, he was an asshole. Why? He was no fun. He was no fun. He had no fun. He didn't come with it.
And Berger was so insecure.
Berger was whack too. But see, I like how Aiden was a dude who sat at home. He watched the game. He had a box of chicken. The shit pissed her off though. Remember? Yeah,
him right. She wouldn't marry him.
No, she wore a chain. She wore the chain, the ring on the chain.
She wanted Big. She wanted the asshole.
Now, did you watch the latest series that came out? You know, this most.
No, you know why? Because Kim Cattrall wasn't in it, and Big died early. Fuck that.
I stopped watching it. I stopped watching it.
You used to watch it.
I watched the first episode, and I wasn't with it. That's like
MC without Run. You gotta have Kim Cattrall.
She want the pain. Like at a time I was like, I want to be like her. You see how she's living her life?
Samantha wasn't shit. She didn't care. Samantha didn't care.
Okay. Don't give her. She was getting her whole groove on. But after a while, the show kind of fell off to me.
It was.
I mean, I think it kept its steam up until about the second movie. The first movie was great. The second movie where they went to Abu Dhabi.
Yep. And they couldn't pay for the hotel.
Morocco or something. Oh, yeah.
They had to run out because they couldn't pay for the hotel. They had to get their shit out.
Right.
And then Aiden ended up being there. What are the chances? Aiden was in Abu Dhabi. What are the chances? I was like, this is bullshit. I know it's a small world, but really, it's like
it was getting a little off. The writing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very wow. Who would have thought that you would like that?
First of all, who would have thought any man would like it, let alone a black man? But here's the thing. If you want to understand women, because fuck race, at the end of the day, women are women. Now, there are certain cultural elements that separate black women from white women, but women are women. And if you want to understand women, watch Sex in the City.
I would 75% agree with you, but I feel like some of their experiences was a little like, that's not happening to a sister at all.
But did you hear what I just said? There are certain cultural differences, but at the end of the day, at the core, women are women. So you have to find the balance. You got to find the middle.
Okay. I can see that, yeah. But I mean, there was some I was like, man, if she ain't as dizzy as I don't know what, Carrie, I'm so sick of her not getting her head together.
Well, yeah. It was a good
Sure.
show though. Overall, I get it. It was a good show. I didn't really like how Jennifer was it not Jennifer Hudson? Was that the one who came in? St. Louise, and I'm just looking
Yeah.
for love. And I was
Effie,
like, this made me sick.
Effie,
That's
what's
how
the name
I felt.
Effie on that too?
That's how I felt. I was like, why she got to be Carrie's assistant, like all not knowing nothing, borrowing bags, like
And
that's
then borrowing bags, and then Carrie gave her a bag, and that was the best thing she
like,
ever had in
oh,
her
thank
life.
you. I was like,
They
okay.
gotta keep niggas in their place. You know what it is.
So you get what I'm
Right.
saying? So I saw that. I was like, damn, I've been watching this show since I was almost 15. So now the one time you give us a part, you know, we're friends now. This is who you make us. You put us beneath you. So I was disappointed with that character. I can't front. I was like, why St. Louise with a keychain? I believe in love. I was like, oh, she's pissing me off. And Carrie, I'm gonna get your books together.
This right now. To the women who are watching, please, please, please download and support my podcast.
Absolutely.
Goddamn.
It's Sex in the City with Aries Spears. That's
Spears and Steinberg. The podcast is called Spears and Steinberg, aka the Jew and the Jerk. Available available on YouTube under Spearsberg Pod. SPEARSBERG POD on YouTube. Please subscribe. And again, I'm pushing this because on my podcast, I'm very vulgar. Mm-hmm. I'm very honest. I'm who I am. And to the women who can handle it, as I say bitch, and I say a lot of other things, but to the women who handle it, they're known as the bitch badge holders. They're women who have been with us from day one. So if you can get past the vulgarity and the honesty, we do a lot to promote our love for women, specifically Black women. Please support the podcast. Slide in my DMs on Instagram under Aries Spears. I'll send you the link, chop it up with you. And my favorite selling point is episode 27 called the Pussy Podcast, where I give a 45-minute tutorial on cunnilingus. I'm a beast.
Okay, great. So, because you'll be with us for a few minutes, because we gotta ask you about that.
I'm a beast. I'm a beast.
All right, we was waiting for you on that because we got
my foreplay game is dangerous.
All right, okay. Well, I mean, if you put it in a bottle, you know that shit is sell. That's what we talking about. We gonna get to that. We got Weekend D. We gonna stretch out a little bit, and we need huh?
And Dick.
Weekend D. Yeah, we got the Weekend D coming up. Hold on, we got Weekend D. Mm-hmm. All right, so I have a question for you. So I want to talk a little bit about this whole, not to rehash the whole Chris Rock and blase blah. However, Chris Rock just recently did his Selective Outrage special, and it surpassed even Dave Chappelle in terms of it was a live stream show, the first ever for Netflix. And basically all of this to me it came about because of the jokes that he made on Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett, by her status as a Black woman, and basically her haircut qualifies for G.I. Jane. And here we go. Will Smith, of course, was heard around the world. And what did Will Smith get? He was banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years. And he lost a lot of projects. However, Chris is over here, he gets a Netflix special. I think he made, Shatara, you were saying the tune of $40 million to do a stand-up. So personally, I just get my little thing. I felt like, I think Chris's comments is that he was raised not to fight in front of white people was hypocritical. Right. Given that, Shatara likes to say he's culturally unplugged. I say basically, a lot of it was selling out. He seems very angry. The comedy is not comedy. It's not hitting like comedy anymore to me. And I feel like he wants to be accepted by white culture, but at Black people's expense. So, Aries, what's your take on this?
Yes.
And we can't see you anymore, but I know you're there.
My take, hold on one second. God damn. My baby mother is calling me right fucking now. Hold a second.
You got to hold the phone. We'll hold.
Doing a podcast right now. And my baby mother Puerto Rican. I got two baby mothers, one Black, one Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican bitch crazy.
You don't want nobody showing up in the bushes outside.
Actually, that would turn me on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You it like that.
I like it like that.
Okay.
Like, where you at? I'm outside.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Whew.
Give me the question again.
Okay. All right. So I was just in I said my take on this whole Chris Rock and how he's now because he was slapped, he now has this Netflix stand-up special, and
Yeah.
a lot of people
it.
are saying that okay, culturally unplugged. I say it was there's a whole sellout thing going on. But what do you think?
Well, there's two. Well, let me give you the first part. I love Black people. I love my people. If I had to come back and do it twice every day, twice on Sunday, I wouldn't want to be nothing but Black, because I understand our swagger, I understand our style, and we have a hot sauce to life. That being said, I wish some of our people could see the forest beyond the trees. I know when I read the comments, there was a lot of Black people going,
yes, I'm
instead
sorry.
of you being concerned about me keeping your wife's name out of my mouth, you should be concerned with the nigga that had your wife in his mouth. So there's that. So kudos to Chris Rock, because that was a very challenging moment. And I thought that based under the circumstances, he handled it as well as you could handle it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part in terms of like handling it. Like, I'm not saying, well, he should have just, five-pieced him right there on the stage. But so to understand what you're saying is, but his response should have been more focused on Black excellence as opposed to what white people think.
Yeah, because so many of our people get caught up in why you care what white people think. Why are you trying to please white people? Why are you tap dancing for white people? The onus shouldn't be on white people. Fuck them. The onus should be on that moment. History was being made. First time ever produced Oscars. Black man, powerful producer, all Black company. Two of the three female hosts were Black women, Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes. Will Smith, Best Actor. Sam Jackson, awarded an award by Denzel Washington. That screams Black excellence. Why tarnish that moment by doing something you didn't have to do?
Okay.
So I completely agree. I mean, now that you put it that way, because even all of the bullet points about who produced it, I mean, I didn't even know that. All you knew was the slap that was heard around the world, and Will Smith can't come back no more for 10 years. That's the part you heard. So just even that. And so here's where I'm like, but this is where Chris Rock seems to be, as you said, Shatara, culturally unplugged. Because that wasn't his approach, which would have made more sense. And I think he would have got more, he would have been more embraced by the Black community. I'm speaking for the Black community, but
a lot of people consider that moment, because you saw what he did, which is what he always does. Mic drop. I blew up the fucking stage. I killed it. A lot of people in the comments were like, that wasn't really a mic drop moment, given the gravity. And I'm just saying that if you want to do a mic drop, don't put the onus on, my parents told me don't fight in front of white folks, because you put the power in white people's hands.
Exactly.
Put the power where it belongs. Black excellence. I don't want to fuck up this historical moment of Black excellence. Mic drop. That's a more powerful moment.
So you had made, so I'm gonna keep that energy right there. You had said that Black people, are not seeing beyond the bushes, right? So I know in an interview you mentioned how, Black comics who reach a certain level, it seems, when they call themselves friends, so to speak, whether we talking about, Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, people he considers friends, they're not putting their friends on the same way an Adam Sandler puts his friends on, right? So what do you see with that? Like, it's kind of the same direction.
I just watched a movie on Netflix with Adam Sandler. I forget what it was called.
Murder Mystery? Murder Mystery.
Murder
Murder
Mystery.
No,
Mystery. That's the
no,
one
no, no.
that's showing on Netflix.
Well, no, before that, he played
Mr.
an agent.
Deeds. Oh, an agent. No, I said
No, was
Mr.
it a
Deeds.
comedy? Go ahead, let him
It was,
finish.
it was a comedy, but he
Okay.
played a Hollywood agent. And
Mhm.
in the movie,
Yeah.
he put in so many of his white friends, his
Mhm.
white counterparts. The only black face really was Chris Rock, of course, his Saturday Night Live alumni. But
Mhm.
Dave Spade, Nick Swanson, Rob
Yep.
Schneider,
Rob Schneider.
James, he put in all them dudes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Why don't black comedians look out for ourselves the way white comedians do, a la Adam Sandler? Let me be honest. If it wasn't for Adam Sandler, Nick Swartzen wouldn't have a job.
Mhm.
Rob Schneider wouldn't have a job.
Okay.
He employs these dudes that Hollywood is trying to force down our throats. You gotta accept Nick Swartzen. You gotta love Nick Swartzen. You gotta accept Rob Schneider. You gotta accept David Spade.
Yep.
If any of these dudes were able to successfully sell a movie, they wouldn't need Adam Sandler.
Ooh, yeah.
But all of their movies have bombed. But Adam keeps them relevant.
Right.
Why can't we do the same?
Why?
And we don't.
Now, why do you think that is, though?
Yeah,
Because
why?
I've noticed that too. I'm just,
Slave mentality. Nigga, everybody, black people are Scrooge McDuck. I got mine, nigga. Mine. Get yours.
I've said that.
I got mine. Get yours. We are so the hand that feeds us. We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us. White people find the checks. We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us.
It's a scarcity mindset.
So in order to keep them hands signing them checks, jazz hands. We play that game.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's not that we don't have the ability to reach back and pull others forward. We just don't do it because we want to keep it for ourselves.
Let me say something to you. One of the most prominent, powerful, legit production companies in Hollywood. You've heard of it. DreamWorks.
Mm-hmm.
David Geffen.
David Geffen just married that black dude too. Did you see that?
David Geffen, Steven Spielberg, and I forget the other one. But the three white guys.
Right.
Why is it that we don't have our version of DreamWorks? Oprah, Tyler Perry, Michael Jordan, Bill Cosby, Spike Lee. We've got enough prominent black figureheads in show business where we should have our own production company that produces black movies. And we don't. Tyler Perry is solar. He's by himself. He's singular.
Yeah.
If David Geffen, there it is, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Katzenberg, David Geffen, and Steven Spielberg can come together and make a company called DreamWorks. Where is our black version of that? It doesn't exist. And that comes from a slave mentality. Got mine, nigga. Get yours. I'm doing me. You do you. That's long overdue.
Right.
Well, and I also think it's, and adding to that you're saying it's a slave mentality, but it's a scarcity mindset. So people think, there's not enough to go around. So if I get in, there's no room for anybody else even to stand next to me, and also you can't be doing better than me. Right. But it's the mentality, or even the mentality like, I want you to do good, but not better than me. And if that's even on the table, that you can come in here and actually blow me out the water, you think I'm gonna open the door?
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me tell you something else. There was a clip that I posted on my Instagram where they did like an HBO special, like an HBO thing. And they had on the panel was Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Ricky Gervais, and Louis C.K. And in the clip, Chris Rock basically says to Louis C.K., you're a nigger.
Yeah.
Because your style and your cadence is so different that I consider you a nigger. And then Louis C.K. followed up and said, I am a nigger. And,
I saw that.
And he goes, to Ricky Gervais, you and I, behind closed doors, say nigger. And we can joke and say nigger. And Chris Rock co-signed it, laughed about it. You know who was the guy who was against it? Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, he had to speak up. Say, I'm not comfortable with it.
And I don't say that I'm not comfortable with it, and I don't seek the humor in it. So
he had to speak up.
You're going again. Respect to Chris Rock. Hats off to Chris Rock, one of the greatest comedians ever of any generation. But I think sometimes we, once we allowed in the Mile High Club, go, oh my God, this is what first class feels like.
That part.
This is first class accommodations. The food is so delicious. We don't want to lose that spot.
Yeah.
So we do extra shit to keep that position.
It's too much. I'm like, where's Pookie? I remember Pookie. I remember, Pootie Tang, and what was he in the mailroom and Boomerang? I mean, that Chris is so different. And
$5 for a rib.
For the evolution. You allow for growth. But
good Lord, that's a lot of money
happening. Remember one rib, which is one. I want where's one rib, Chris?
One rib. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. I mean, he's come a long way.
I can't speak from experience because I don't know. But my spider sense tells me when you get to a certain position and you get to a certain echelon and you make a certain amount of money, it changes you. It just changes you.
I think you should change. You should change. Like somebody said something about Jay-Z about change your money. He's like, why would you expect me to be the same? I think you should change. But as far as your character and who you are, some type of integrity, some type of, what you stand for, it says a lot. That part shouldn't change. So, whether or not I have $20 million in my pocket or I got 5, if I feel disrespected in a room full of men, with their words, then I should be able to speak up on that because that's your integrity, that's your character.
And for the record, as a comedian,
yes,
and I stand behind this badge called comedy, I uphold this oath called humor.
Yeah.
Last person to ever be on some woke shit, politically correct shit, you should be able to talk about anything. I would never put censorship on comedy. My point with the Chris Rock, Louis C.K. thing was this. Just have the balls to say nigger in front of the audience that doesn't look like you. It's one thing to say nigger, and Louis C.K. in his stand-up has said nigger. But the difference, he did it in front of a crowd that looked like him. That's not as ballsy as doing it in front of a crowd that doesn't look like you. You might be a nigger. You might be able to do a joke that, in terms of context, says nigger. That's the creative part. That's the brilliance. For you to be able to take on a topic that's so taboo and so controversial and so scary as race, politics, religion, and nigger. But I'm just saying, have the balls to tell that joke in front of a crowd that doesn't look like you. That's the challenge. Doing it in front of an audience that resembles you is safety. Don't be safe. Do it in front of a crowd that doesn't look like you. And if you could still make it funny and get away with it, that's it.
But that's not going to happen. That part. It sounds good what you just said. But, for the average white man running that, and, we've seen it a lot, that's not going to happen. That part is not going to happen. They know when and how and who to use it, and they know to pick and choose. That's where that intelligence comes in. That's knowing their crowd. Like, hold on a minute now. Can't play around with them. Let me not go there.
But I will say this. There's a difference between pandering to a Black audience, what a lot of do, which I don't have respect for, versus being who you are naturally and make a Black audience laugh. A la Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a white boy who can perform in front of a Black crowd and still be himself and destroy it. Versus you talk Black, you act Black, you do all the nigger isms to make Black people hoop and holler and jump out their seats. Man, this white boy crazy. This white boy good. And Black people, we are guilty of pandering. When a white boy sound like us, talk like us, act like us, have Black energy,
Yeah.
We go crazy for that.
We
Yeah.
we Tommy and ghost them up.
Don't
We-
let them
but
pop
I'm
and lock. Don't let them
if you
dance to pop and lock.
if you could be a white boy and stay in your natural skin and intellectually and comedically make black people laugh without pandering, I respect that.
Okay, okay. Like Q-Tip said, you can be white, but don't prep the role. You know, that's where I'm at with that. But don't prep the role. So pandering is something that, you know, that's a good way to look at it, because when I see comics pandering, I'm disappointed. You know, and I cringe a little bit, because I'm like, you know, you're going there with a crowd of people, like you would say, that don't look like you, and are you having them laugh with us or at us? I don't know where we're going with this. I get a little confused sometimes. You know, I'm not good for that. That's not me. I'm not coming out to say, you know, black folks, we got bad credit. You know, that's half
bad credit black folk joke.
And I'm not doing that in front of black folks, and I'm not doing that in front of white folks. You know what I'm saying? I love my people too much. You know what I'm saying? If there's something, if there's a topic that's with us and our struggle, that's between us. I'm not giving y'all insight like that. I don't want to share that. That's not what we doing.
And not there's anything wrong with giving insight to that. You could play that too. But I'm saying, when you shuck and jive, and you put in front, it's obvious. Versus it takes more of a challenge to be yourself and rely on your wit and your material to sell what you're selling me.
And that is such a fine line, just what you said, because there are, and that's why I think comedy is one of the most creative crafts, but it has to be one of the most difficult, because it's that line right there where, as you said, Shatara, you know, are you laughing at, or are you laughing with? Like it's a joke, but is the joke supposed to land? And you know, it's just I can't explain it, but it's that fine line that y'all toe. That makes the difference between a comedian who knows his craft and understands the audience and is just being themselves, and someone who, like you said, is pandering to whoever it is, I guess, that's paying the checks. It's a total difference. And this is where I feel like Chris Rock has gone over that line, because it's I don't even think that's really him. I think that's what has happened to him, and here we are.
Again, I am not speaking from experience, because I don't know. But if my gut is telling me what it's telling me, it feels like when you get to a certain level of upper echelon and money, and you're in a different percent tax code, and the world is kissing your ass, oh my God, you're that is intoxicating.
Sing it, Deion Sanders.
And when you get that, you go, oh my God, this is what lobster tastes like. I can't ever eat fish sticks. So you get to a point where you taste lobster and drawn butter, and why would you go backwards? So maybe for Chris, and I can't answer for Chris, he's at a certain point where he's that dude. And you know what? It feels so good and so intoxicating that maybe you lose a sense of yourself.
It's a little culturally unplugged.
Culturally unplugged. But how come that's to me, like, that's not a Dave Chappelle, that's not even an Eddie Murphy. And I can understand, yeah, you get to a certain level, it's like, well, you know what, I don't do them things I was doing when I was down there.
Say something. Of all the 4 specials that Dave Chappelle did on Netflix, it was the one in the belly room that stands out to me, where he goes, people come up to me and go, hey man, you my hero. And he goes, fuck being your hero, nigga, I want to be rich. Like, when you want to be someone that stands on your principles, on your morals, on your convictions, that's not how you get rich. My manager had a great saying to me. He goes, you want to be rich or you want to be right? Oh. If you want to be right, then you ain't going to be rich. If you want to be rich, then you got to jazz hands. The two don't go together. Fuck being your hero, nigga. I want to be rich. A lot of people come up to me and say, Aries Spears, yo, you a legend. You one of the GOATs. My nigga, you a legend. I love the compliment because I'm a vain nigga. I'm an Aries. My birthday, April 3rd. It's in
Happy belated.
Happy belated, yeah.
Vain nigga. I love the adulation. But I'm pulling out my pockets going, I ain't broke, but I ain't rich as I should be.
Okay.
So what do you want to be? You want to be rich? You want to be right? I love being called a legend and a GOAT, but being a legend and a GOAT ain't giving me the financial status that I deserve.
Woo.
So at what point do I keep being a legend and a GOAT, or do I go, time for me to tap dance, nigga? Ask the devil what's to go and rate on a soul.
Are you ready to tap, Aries Spears? Are you ready to start tapping?
I'm ready to tap, but I'm looking at a lot of Gregory Hines pictures.
Oh my God. That's the, and you know what? I was gonna ask, what was some of like the best advice, you've gotten, whether it was starting off or, down the road, that is like still with you, unforgettable advice. And I think you just said something solid.
It's Chris Rock. When Chris Rock was doing his HBO show, when it was on, I had a dinner meeting with him. And he gave me the best advice ever. He said, look, man, keep writing, be as funny as you can. And most importantly, try not to piss these white folks off.
Wow.
Because they run it. This is their game. It's their FUBU. For us, by us.
You better get.
But do you agree with that advice?
I would like not to. But it gets to a certain point where you get older, you get tired, you keep taking beatings mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you just go, God damn, when is being honest and true to myself gonna pay off? Where's the reward with this? Where's the pot of gold for being righteous? And when you keep seeing it's not coming, you start going, I don't want to sell out. I don't want to tap dance, but God damn it, I'm tired of this. Well, maybe it's time for me to get my Al Jolson on.
Oh, man.
What's the pot of gold look like for you? What does that pot of gold look like for you? Because I'm like, to me, you're golden, but what does that pot of gold look like for you?
My standards are lowering every day.
Your what's lowering every day?
My standards.
Your standards are lowering every day.
The bar is lowering every day.
Yeah.
The more and more I go through this life, and I really realize not only is this shit unfair, but it seems like life goes out of its way to be cruel. I go, you know what? What can I settle for? What's enough for me to go, all right, I'm out. I don't want to quit, but I'll settle. I'm out.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the pot of gold. Pot of gold is just the standard.
I want it all. I want to be right and I want to be rich. But
right, because
the more the scales go unbalanced, I'm going, all right, what will I settle for versus what I want?
What will I settle for versus what I want? So the compromising is big. Like,
wow, that's a big one. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I see you, I've seen you on stage plenty of times. It comes so natural to you. It is like it's born within you, and then you've crafted a style. Because I can go back 20 years ago to now, and I can see the level of maturity and intelligence that you bring to the comedy, which is only something that happens through experience. So what I mean by that is there's a passion that you have for this now how you explain it is like it might be waning a little bit, but that to me, I know that there has to be a huge payoff for that, because it's something that you don't see in everybody. Some people, you're like, well, how did they get the platform? What did they, what is it that they have? Because they don't have what you got.
Keep praying, man.
Keep praying. Well, that's what we do. That's what Black people do. We just pray.
Anybody that's watched my podcast, and I got a particular episode where I talk to a reverend. I have a bucket list where I go, I want to talk to a reverend. I want to talk to a transgender. I spoke to Brother Rizza Islam during the COVID shit, pandemic. There are certain major topics I want to talk to with experts. And the more and more I go through this, at the end of the day, there's a certain part of me that believes in God. I still believe. But the more and more I go through this fucking life, I'm starting to become an atheist because I'm just going, it don't make sense. None of this. It just doesn't make sense. And I wanna be faithful. I wanna believe in God. I wanna be true to God. But I'm going through this life where I'm just going, I don't know.
Can I share something with you? Okay, I don't want to make this, the spiritual podcast, but when you're going through that spiritual journey, and when you're looking for something outside of yourself, you'll never be complete, because the true meaning of God for me is inside of you, and it's that connection. Like we are all God, and there's a spirit there's a creator that we connect to, but we're little fragments of it. And when we lose out, when we don't acknowledge the God, that's what they said, like it's whether you call the Christ figure or the Christ within us, when we don't acknowledge that, we're lost. We don't have that. So when you're looking for something outside of you.
Hold up. There's so many contradictions in that. Bill Maher. You know who Bill Maher is?
Yep.
I love his show, Real Time. I'm an avid watcher. Here's the guy who's a loud, proud atheist. So much so that he made a movie called Religious.
I saw that.
Right.
On a search.
He don't believe in God at all and will proudly tell you so. But he flies private jet. He's a millionaire, and his life is 100% rich without worry. Then you got the Black people who during Katrina lost their lives, their homes, turned upside down, believe in God, pay their 10%. These are the people that believe, prayed to God, and left out in the cold. Here's a guy that's an atheist who doesn't believe at all, and he's more secure, financially, stable. Life is good. Make that make sense to me.
Okay, well, let me just say, because I saw Religious, and what I got from it was someone who, not necessarily, I mean, he's saying an atheist, but to me, he was still searching for something greater than himself.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was looking for things to validate his belief, and in so many instances, he proved it. He proved it. So when people say to me, the power of prayer, pray about it. You put it in God's hands, you're going to be all right. So on 9/11, when those people were trapped in the buildings and they were praying to God, God, please help me, please. And their only recourse was to jump 80 stories to their death. Meanwhile, Bill Maher, who don't believe in God, is doing just fine. Donald Trump, who's an asshole, is doing just fine. Meanwhile, Chadwick Boseman dies of cancer while visiting kids in hospitals with cancer. Make that make sense to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna make it make sense.
Hold up.
Kobe Bryant.
And his 13-year-old daughter, not to mention the other people that died in that helicopter. A mother and father who left 3 girls without parents. That was their demise. Meanwhile, George Zimmerman is okay. Make it make sense to me.
Okay. It's a thought-provoking question, so I don't want to go off on a tangent. I'll just give you my my reasoning or what I believe. So one of the things I believe is that we all come here, like this is, as Earth, we come here under soul contracts. It's things that we agree to before we get here to live out on this earth. So when you think about it, your soul is never ending, but your physical body is here for a quick minute. So we come here under these contracts to live out certain circumstances. So I cannot tell you, okay, well, a Kobe Bryant, for example, because honestly, we're still talking about him, and there was something that his soul had to come here to do. and then his soul left his physical body. But there was so much that he left here behind. It was a legacy that he left, and some of us are here to do that. Sometimes a child is born, and as quick as that child is born, it's gone, because that is the contract that needed to be fulfilled. This is something that I believe. So,
but you do you realize that all of what you're saying is speculation? None of it is fact.
absolutely. But you know what? It's fact for me, because this is, each of us has to come to our own conclusion as to why we came here, what this journey is about.
So if that's what does it for you, so be it. To each his own.
Exactly.
But when people try to preach religion and God like it's fact, that's what I have a problem with, because you don't know.
Absolutely. And that's why I don't.
You can't provide me any scientific evidence that what you're saying is factual.
Well, there's scientific evidence of it, of terms of what happens with a soul and our contracts. There is.
What? What is it? What is it?
As for the soul, as when you come here and what you're supposed to fulfill, you have people who can go back and you look at scientifically what is in their brain, and there's whole past lives. There's things that they can remember. There's been studies on that, where they've lived a life before and they come back here to live out a journey, whatever that is.
That's
so
factual.
You can't have all good, that's why we got killers and murderers and all kind of stuff.
That's factual.
Is it factual that there have been studies regarding past life regression? And people,
And you know what exists? Contradictions.
Absolutely. And you got to have them. You have to have contradictions. The good and evil. You got to have the good and the bad. You got to have, do I believe in or I don't believe? You have to have them. So here's what I'm saying. Each of us has to come up with our own spiritual science. You've got to figure out what works for you, because the Buddhist is not going to believe what the Christian believes, and the Christian is not going to believe what the African traditional people are believing. Everybody's not going to believe the same thing. But what works for you? What increases your life? So this is why I don't evangelize. I'm not out here trying to get you to believe what I believe, but I'm gonna tell you, if this works for me, then you have to figure out what works for you. What you come here for? What's your journey about? Because I can't answer that for anybody. I can only answer it for myself. I can only try to discover that for me. So,
well, I can tell you what is factual. You ready?
I'm listening.
Your jawline and your lips are fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Blame it on our mother. Give props to Joy.
So okay? Can I just say, I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna get to the weekend D. Is that okay? And I just have a yes or no question for you, Miss Aries Spears.
I'm listening, baby.
You have made your mark on this world. Whenever it's time to go, we don't know, but you have made your mark on this world. Hence the fact that our paths have crossed to this day, and I could say I remember seeing that Def Jam. You know what I mean? Like it. So, like I said in introduction, it is an honor just to be here today. This is big for me. You know what I mean? In my path. So to know our paths have crossed in this way, and the reason why I saw you was because you were sharing your gift. So what you do? Where'd you go?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm still here. You see me?
Your camera just went off.
Hold on, baby. I'm hearing you though, but keep going.
Okay. So what you do is, I'm going to say honestly, a gift. So I know as a comic, I have, I talk to people who take classes, and I always think you can't teach this shit. Either you got it or you don't. I can understand wanting to, hone your craft, get better, stuff like that, writing, I get it. But the truth of the matter is, your DNA has already been, I would say the minute you got here, it's already been there. It's a gift. Just like, I used to work with kids, and you had certain kids who were amazing artists, and they would take a pencil and sketch. And I would go, oh my God, do you take classes? They go, no, it just comes natural. I would say that's your gift. So for you, Mr. Spears, this is your gift. What comes easy for you? Like you said, I just like new stuff. You say it so nonchalant. I just like new characters, whatever's new. And you coin it, and wow, I'm like, that is such a gift. So my question to you would be, do you believe that you are gifted? And that's all. That's all.
Yes, I do. But I think God is playing with me in a way that I can't figure out. If that makes sense.
Okay.
You know,
You think it's kind of like you said, like that gold, what you call it? The gold at the end of the at the end of the rainbow.
rainbow.
Leprechaun pot.
Yeah. You feel like you feel like it's your pot of gold. He's kind of like, got it. No, you don't. Is the pot of gold?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know, there are times when I wake up and I go, God is with me.
Amen.
Then the other time I go, what did I do to piss God off?
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out.
Is cancel culture playing with you?
Not at all. I'm very Floridian with my comedy. I stand my ground.
Okay, okay, because I know that cancel culture, got us all kind of feeling like, what's going on now,
No.
Yeah, that's a shame because it's changing the landscape of comedy. It's like it's kind of whack now.
Well,
Right.
when you said Lizzo has a body shaped like the poop emoji, and they're like, you heard what Aries Spears said, and I spit my water out a little bit and I laughed a little bit, and then I had to look around to see like who saw me laugh. I was like,
I say it in my stand-up.
Mhm.
I'm working on me too physically. I failed successfully in terms of losing weight. And like, I don't really have a fat face. I don't have fat arms. When I wear jeans, they're baggy, so you can't tell. But my legs are very small and skinny. All my fat is in my midsection. If you saw me on the toilet butt naked, I look like Kermit the Frog taking a shit.
Okay. So you check yourself in the process of talking shit about others.
Self in that.
Okay.
I like that though. Like it is what it actually is. Like,
yeah,
I like that.
that's the first thing. That's the first thing women be like, wait a minute now, what's he looking like over there talking all that?
Because I guarantee you that don't stop you from getting no pussy. Like for real, that'll never stop nobody.
But here's the difference.
Nope, don't stop.
Here's the difference. My swagger is bananas. I'm funny. I'm mentally sharp.
Yeah.
Funny, mentally sharp are skills. They're natural aphrodisiacs. I know how to play tennis with women.
Right.
Serve is John McEnroe. My game is bananas. I'm an East Coast. I got swag. I got confidence. I'm funny. I'm famous, and I got money.
You hide out here.
What if any of those ingredients suggest I have a hard time getting pussy?
Exactly. I agree with you. Women, we respect that a lot more. Y'all are visual. Men are visual, so you want to see something first.
We want the perfect everything. But if you can stimulate a woman's mind, if you can fuck her mind, she'll give you her body.
That part. I say that all the time on the podcast. I say it. I talk about getting mind fucked. That's bigger than the physical.
So many women during the Lizzo shit in the comments was like, I don't know why you fuck with Lizzo. You ugly and you ain't funny. Well, first of all, me being ugly and unfunny is not a fact. It's subjective.
Okay.
That's true. And again, when you go through my credits and you go through my swagger, yo, I'm telling you, I'm a beast verbally. I know how to stimulate a woman's mind so I can get the clit. I'm a beast.
I can get the clit. At the end of the day, we're going to get the clit. I hear that.
That brings us right to our weekend D.
Okay, well, we had the weekend D then. Here we go. Well, let's pull up. About time.
Hey.
We do a D anytime, and we don't really need to be the weekend, but here we go.
Spears and Steinberg. It's the podcast. Jew and the Jerk. Available on all streaming platforms. Hit me up in my DMs. I'll send you the link. To all the women. Episode 27, the Pussy Podcast, where I give a tutorial on cunnilingus. Your boy is a monster.
Hey. All right. You about to be giving a tutorial right here. We gonna get right into it.
So first. And then from there, you know what? Again, I'm vulgar. I'm raw. The cocaine is uncut. That might be hard for some women to handle. But if you listen to the Pussy Podcast first, and I get you off the first sniff, then I got you.
Then you got us.
All you need is one whiff. One whiff. Okay.
Baby.
Can I ask this? Because this is a question I want to ask a man in today's world.
Yes,
with Black China changing her whole body, she came to Christianity, all that. How do you feel about women, who do all this stuff to their bodies, whether it be the BBLs, whether it be the breasts, whether it be whatever it is? Like, how you feeling about all this?
Women overthink it. Okay. We don't care y'all care about.
Okay.
Y'all put more onus on yourselves than we do. We care more about loyalty and what you do in terms of your skills outside the bedroom. Pussy is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good.
Oh.
So if it's good, it's the plus. But if you can cook, clean, cater to your, be a little bit obedient, there's more stock in that than what you do with your pussy. Because we're gonna get off no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no need for waist trainers and all these situations.
Bullshit. Come on, man.
I feel like that's an older experienced man's response. Because I think it's
I like, and I say this respectfully, I like pussy with some mistakes.
okay. What's the mistake?
What's that?
Marks, wounds. I want pussy that's been through some shit. I don't want, because new pussy is a lot of ouchies. Ouch, ouch. Don't do this. Fuck that. Give me some mistakes.
You want some mileage. You want some mileage on it.
Mileage, goddammit.
Like, honey has lived. She has lived.
If you could make a nigga a sandwich, shut the fuck up when you need to, suck my dick when I tell you, make me laugh.
Superstar.
Everything else is good.
She can have a baby up in there. What you got up in there? It's me.
Listen, I'm gonna go to my favorite show, Sopranos. There was an episode where Tony was talking to his father's side piece. And she told a story when she used to fuck with John F. Kennedy. And she said a woman's job when dealing with a powerful man is to make him feel powerful. And so many women don't want to play the subservient role because they think it delinquishes them as women. I'm telling you, men, our egos need to be stroked. As fragile as we are, as childish as it may be, if you shut the fuck up and do what we tell you to do, when we want you to do it, when we feel most vulnerable, get on your knees and fix it. You win.
And I agree with you on that, but I will add for a woman, because it's to understand, like, to be subservient does not mean you giving up all of your femininity and your powers to that man. However, the man has to provide a level of stability in order for that woman to give up, because we can get on this train. It just can't be a runaway train.
If you do your job, I'll do mine.
So what would be okay? So that's grown man talk, because some men
that ain't everybody. They don't understand that part.
I'm grown, so I can be submissive all day, every day. But what part do you play in exchange for me to be submissive? What part do you play for me to fix it?
I'm old school.
On snap a finger.
I can't speak for every man. I'm old school.
All right, old school. Tell us.
So you should never have to reach in your pocketbook ever. The rent paid, the bills paid, your hair and your nails done, whatever you want. We go shopping. Whatever you buy, you got to try it on in front of me.
Okay.
The way I say you need to put it on. So if I say to you, you want them $5,000 Louis Vuittons, Christian Louis Vuittons, you want that Louis Vuitton purse? Fine. But make sure that when you come out the shower and you don't use a towel and you're dripping wet, let me see you with them heels on, wet, with that purse. Be that bitch, and I'll be the nigga. Never have to reach.
You're not asking for much now.
Right, and it makes so much sense. But you see that part, that initial part.
Let me quote Paul Mooney, the great Paul Mooney. A wet pussy and a dry purse don't match.
There it is. I need to put that on a t-shirt, because ain't that the damn truth? That's the part. That's the part we've been talking about. That first part that you said needs to be the TED Talk, because it's not about, you buy it. But
let me correct that. I fucked it up. A dry pussy and a wet purse don't match.
A dry pussy and a wet purse don't match.
Right.
No, it made sense the other way around.
It made sense when he said,
yeah.
Y'all better go ahead with your Rubik's Cube. Yeah, Rubik's Cube
A
and
wet
shit.
pussy and a dry purse don't match. I get it.
There it is.
I like
Yeah.
that one makes sense.
That's the first time you said that makes sense. And that's the truth.
Well,
but
listen.
the part that you said about, it's that exchange. Because no matter what, it is an exchange. It's an exchange of energy. But most men don't understand that first part that you said.
Because they broke.
Well,
Tricking ain't tricking if you got it. You heard?
T.I. already told us. Well, I guess so.
a nigga with money can do what he want to do. But if I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, I need you to do what I want you to do. And that's not to take away from your femininity. You could be a strong black.
It has more.
I am every woman, hear me roar. I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
A men's power is based on me feeling like I can dominate you. And I say this respectfully. Nothing turns me on than a woman that's a victim.
A victim?
A victim of what? Of you?
Sound like a victim. I want you to moan.
Helpless, the helplessness.
Your moan feeds into my roar.
Okay.
So
a wise woman once told me, wise woman.
Hold on. I'm strictly speaking from, again, demean women. I'm not trying to demean you.
Okay.
I'm saying in the moment when you go, that me go,
got him.
Okay.
Man. And that is why I speaking, you kind of saved that. Like that right there is not for everybody. No, so as a woman, you gotta have to like, all right, I gotta no, because once you hear that, we already know. Like once you hear that, oh man.
Eddie Murphy. Ooh, I motherfucker now, boy. That feeds into male tribalism and male manhood and ego. Make me feel like a man, and I'm gonna make you the queen you're supposed to be.
And make you feel like a woman. I want to feel.
That was our first question, right? We were gonna ask that, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel about women's noises in the bed?
Because what I was gonna say was, it goes both ways. A wise woman once said to me that the sex is so much better when the bills are paid. Don't nobody want to feel all uptight and scared about shit. The sex is better. So therefore, a woman can feel
like we walking around this whole house naked everywhere.
If you my woman, if you my woman, and I grab you by your scalp and say, "Suck my dick, bitch." If we have that kind of relationship where we know what it is, I respect you as a woman, but in the moment. I need you to get on your knees and, like Ving Rhames said in Baby Boy, get on your knees and fix it. Act like a woman, goddammit. Fix it.
Fix it. Now,
fix it.
That when that's the right situation.
You got the right one. You make me feel like a natural woman. You can be singing. Then that's some, that's femininity. That helps a woman to feel more feminine.
You be over here sliding on the floor like, well, all right.
She feel a little free. When she feels a little free, because you deserve that, because you deserved it, you earned it, then it makes sense. But you can't be half-assing, on your little boy shit, not having it together, and I'm worried about what's going on in the house and expect to say some shit like that, then we got problems. Who the fuck you talking to? That's gonna be the answer you might get if you don't handle your home.
I'm old school. Like I said, I've come from that era where you're supposed to pull out a knot of money, lick your thumb, and
the breadwinner.
You know what I'm saying? I do my job. It's not my job to bring home the bacon and fry it.
Yeah, I agree.
If I bring home the bacon, fry that motherfucker.
Yeah, the breadwinner. You have a breadwinner mentality. A lot of men don't have that. I call that breadwinner mentality. That's how I have it.
Sexier than seeing your woman in the bed with bra and panties on, laying in the side position, and you rip it off.
Look, I'm over here like I understand. So what did Jill Scott say? She said, what was her saying? I was like, this is what it is. Like, if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Ooh!
Glad you brought up Jill Scott, one of my favorite movies. Get On Up, the James Brown story with Chadwick.
Yep.
And she climbed on that bed and said, Get up on here, Mr. Dynamite. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, man. Women want submissive. You just have to be strong enough as a man to put them in that position.
And that's the whole thing. I mean, you know, just personally, especially if as a woman, as a female, Black female especially, you know, we have to be this super independent, you know, super, you know, all the women, all the whole thing. But in actuality, we want to be soft. We want to be submissive. I believe that we do, especially if you get to a certain age. I don't want to be out here wearing the pants to do it. I really don't. Yeah. But it takes a certain man who knows really who he is. And as you said, it's an old school thing, because now most men, you know, they don't think like that. So I don't want to be in competition with you, sir. I want you to tell me what to do. And if you could tell me what to do, you could tell me what to do. But if you can't, good girl. Cause I'm here. I'm like, I'm listening. But it's like the runaway train. I always say this, like, I love train rides. I will get on the train and we can sit here and you riding, if we driving that train, wherever we going, conductor, I'm with it. Yeah. But if we on the side of the mountain and you all the way over here, I gotta pull the emergency brake and all that, I don't want to do that in a relationship. I don't want to be.
The pick rise out you. It don't count.
Huh?
If I don't fucking pick oil moisturize out you, it don't count.
It don't count.
So you want to be in them situations, be like, you sitting somewhere and be like, God damn. Be like, why are you smiling? Nothing.
Just happy on a Tuesday. Just happy.
Or you do a little chuckle. Wait, little
laughing to yourself. Today's a good day. Because he's a man's man. Because he's a man. It's gonna be a great day. Yeah, like that right there. But most brothers don't understand to even how to get to that point. You know how to get to that point.
I live for that.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer
Aries though? That makes sense.
Aries?
That makes sense.
So I think I know the answer to this, but I don't know. Do you prefer a great connection with a woman? Because connections are hard. That's hard to come by. Or do you prefer excellent sex?
Excellent sex for a man is almost a given. It's the connection.
That mind fuck is important.
If I can fuck the mind, you're gonna give me your body.
Okay. So
but is it like that for you? So you're saying sex is gonna be great no matter what. But at this point,
your shit is like, you know, Las Vegas desert dry and horrible. It's almost a given that sex is going to be good. That's
so minimal. What comes first?
Am I hearing this correctly? Say this again. If it's dry, it's going to be good.
For a man, unless your shit is dry and horrible,
okay,
almost a given for a man.
It's going to be good.
It's the connection. That's the challenge for a woman. Can you stimulate my mind? Can you can we have interesting conversation? Pussy that's automatic for a man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So that's what I always feel.
How's your toe game? Can I drip hot water down your leg, past your toes, and watch it cascade into my mouth while I suck on your toes?
Okay, how do you want it? How do you feel? I'm getting Tupac vibes over here. Like, I love that. You know what?
Come on, man.
You know why that's important? Because you pay attention. Because you know, there's some it's toe game. Like,
foreplay game is everything.
Ooh, that was what was that?
Here's a mistake a lot of men make. Oh, that's gay. Fuck that. That's weak. A lot of men don't want to do what's necessary foreplay-wise to please a woman because they get caught up in their own ego. Either it's gay, it's not manly. They get caught up in their own bullshit. Foreplay, everything. Let me tell you something. If you take a mug of water and you heat it up in the microwave for a minute and you sip on that hot water and then you suck a woman's kneecap, watch her reaction. When eyes roll back, when the toes scrunch, look at the reaction. The front of the kneecap and
don't
the
play
back.
with it. Don't play with it. You for real? I'm over here like
the Achilles heel.
Shut up.
When you apply that hot water in your mouth to her Achilles heel, Watch the reaction.
What you do?
Fuck the nipple and the areola, the under the titty, the sweat under the titty.
You talking about women with wait, with that knee shit? Are you talking about women with arthritis? Are you?
If you do the knee shit right, she'll get arthritis.
The knee with the warm water.
With the warm water. I'm telling you, listen to me.
Aries.
Episode 27, the Pussy Podcast.
Aries.
Steinberg. I'm a monster.
Is this nursing home? Is this 101 nursing home? Hot mamas at the nursing home. This hot water on the kneecap shit. Hold on now.
Let me show you. Right here. This elbow skin.
Here we go.
I got razors. I got
elbow skin. If you put hot water in your mouth or you heat up and you put that right on the elbow skin and you suck that. Watch her when the eyes roll back and the toes make gang signs.
Mr. Spears, you're a physical therapist. I'm a firm believer you are a physical therapist and you are good at what you do.
That's why it's funny to me when so many of the women were mad at me during the Lizzo sit with Lizzo wouldn't fuck you, nigga. You ugly and you ain't funny. What woman wants you? All right, believe that shit if you want to, bitch. I'm a monster. My foreplay game, my tongue game, my lip game, I'm a beast. I know what I'm.
But can everybody get it, or do you save all this for like a special someone? Are you that dude who's like, I'm for the streets, like I'm for everybody. Everybody gets number 7 on the menu.
I want you to get it if I'm trying to make an impression on you.
Okay.
If I'm trying to seal a deal and I'm trying to get the pussy, I'm putting all my cards on the table.
How long does it take?
That's without Ruth Chris, Del Frisco's, fine dining.
Okay.
How long does it take? What is it? What's the time frame for that?
Yeah.
For what?
But she got to get up here with you.
Yeah, like what's the time frame for you for getting in that ass? Like how long does it take?
At my pace. It's at my pace.
Okay, so you set the pace. It ain't
because most women don't expect you to do that. Because most men won't. So I'm already playing a game that most men don't know how to play. It's chess, not checkers.
So if there's a warm cup of water on the sink when I come over, it's on.
We already know what's up.
You ain't making hot chocolate, baby. We ain't making hot chocolate.
Here's my ingredients. And I got it in my cell phone and my music on my iTunes. I call it my fuck list, my playlist.
Yeah.
The right kind of R&B music, a microwave, hot lotion, cold ice, and a hot wet rag. If you massage a woman and you do this in a certain sequence, hot lotion, cold ice, music, and you finish with the hot wet rag on the clitoris, before you get to the clit, she's already bugging. That's the cherry on the ice cream. You're begging me to fuck. I'm not begging you to fuck.
Oh, you can hold out. You are a delayer.
Foreplay is everything.
It is. And so I'm glad you said that, because that's another thing. I when it comes to foreplay, most brothers are not into that. So if you
that's gay. That's corny. Nah, that's not manly. Check your ego at the door. Put your macho male shit away. Every man, whether they care to admit it or not, and most won't, got a little bit of femininity in you.
A little bitch.
If you can get in touch with your female side as a man, you know what they want. You know what they like. Put your ego away.
You are definitely right. And I've had this conversation with certain males, which is if you could just tap into that, because really it's about pleasing a woman. Like for a man who has no idea how to please a woman, it's real mechanical, and they, their foreplay is a little, turning their nipples like knobs, and a little lick.
That hurts.
They're not smooth. They're not smooth.
Let me say something. If you suck on a woman's toe correctly, the rest takes care of itself.
I would agree with you.
You don't know this, but I'm gonna be honest with you. In this whole conversation, I've sized you up 5
I'm
times.
sure you did. And I sized you up.
And I'm looking at your neckline. I'm looking at your jawline.
No,
I'm looking at
strong my jaws are.
I'm looking at certain specificities on you where I go, I would attack that first.
All right, okay. Look, I can do the same thing. That's we're the experts at this. You just tapping into your feminine side. That's how you doing it.
Doing it is a given. It's easy. All you got to do is present yourself as a woman. You don't have to do nothing special for me. All you got to do is be there. And as a man, I'm going, pussy. It's different the other way around.
No, for a woman though, for a female who's into her sensual side, she is thinking. I'm saying I'm talking about third person, but she is sizing up and she is thinking, you know what, I got levels of things I can do. This person, might be too much for him, so I ain't even gonna do all of that. Might be okay. This I can pull out all my hot yoga tricks. I can do everything. It just depends on what I'm seeing in that person. Because sometimes you be like, you know what, this would be too much. He'd be over here hiding in the bushes, and I can't have that in my life.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's not.
I cannot have that. Like don't give him the address, because no,
focus on them, and
you already know. Like you can already kind of tell, and so like, all right, okay, we can do a little something. But it'd be the ones that pay attention to whether that's tapping into their feminine side, but it's just being a pleaser, more wanting to please the woman. Like those are the ones that win all day.
Right.
Like paying attention, like you said, the details, the little things, the toes, the elbow. And everybody got degrees of freakness. It just be the right person to unlock the door. You just need that right one. You know what I'm saying?
But then that connection, that's why I say, like, what goes in order? Is it that connection makes for the great sex, or does a great sex make for the great connection? What's the order? And as he said, that connection is key, and then the sex will come, next.
Well, because for men, like you said, it's for men. It's like, well, it's gonna be good. She could be a whole fish over here, a whole desert. It's gonna be all right.
You gonna get that thing together.
But for women, it's different. It's levels to it. It really is. So you stimulate the mind, man. You unlock everything. You get the mind going.
I was thinking
it'll be good for us, even if it really isn't. You know what I mean?
If your mind is there.
Like, oh, girl, I can sit on. We talked for like 4 hours.
There you go.
So what we even talked about, right? Like that right there.
And he just said he wanted me to sit on his face. That's all he said. And we stayed on the phone for hours, and we was just talking. And when are you gonna see him? Next month?
And nothing sexier for a man than to wear a woman's pussy like a COVID mask.
Oh yeah.
But only certain dudes. That again, to me, like, that's not for everybody. Like once I do that, I mean, we go together. I don't know what else to say.
But you mine. Wakanda forever. You my Wakanda forever.
You was kind and you was nice. And you is mine forever. No, I'm joking.
But I don't want to know that everybody gets the number 7. That's the part. Like, if you pull out all the stops, ain't nothing like sitting next to Rebecca, and Rebecca, like, he did the same for me. Like, you ain't special. Like, I want to know that, when he's giving me the number 7 on the menu, eat great, eat late. When you eat great, eat late. When I'm getting the number 7 on the menu, I want to know that there's something special there between us. I don't want to be sucker ducked into knowing, like, you
want to be tricked.
He's not, because you can have the dude who's just a wild freak. And I told you about this character before. We don't know his name. I'm not even gonna tell you the nickname I have for him. However, he was so nasty. Shut up. He was nasty in such a good way. I loved all of it. But it had me really think for a minute, like, yo,
he does this with everybody.
Yeah, he does this with every female. Like, he just likes doing, and he was nasty. Like, and I say that, look, I'm whispering in a good way. Honey. But I just really had a moment like, yo, we connect, we speak every now and then, but there's really nothing special to it. You get what I'm saying? He lets out the stuff. Basically, he's getting a warm cup of water for everybody. Ain't nothing special going on. Chia. I felt it in
He
my
never
soul.
told you that. I'm just saying, like you thinking about all of that because
No, he was
whatever's going on between this right here, that's the focus.
he was playing around. We was just
I don't care
playing.
about all that.
That's what we did when we
feel like
played.
I
We
have
played.
conversation between yourselves right now, and I've been left out.
So
Come back. When we played, we played. But there was nothing special with it. I just knew it.
go ahead. What you think? That it.
All right, listen. I love y'all. I got some other things I gotta get to. So
Yes.
I love y'all. So I love y'all. Let's wrap this up, baby.
Okay.
All right. So you got to big yourself up. So look, this has been a really, really good show, and we hope to have you back. So usually we do a segment, we do support Black businesses, but you know, we're going to support your business. So go ahead, let the world, tell everybody what they need to know.
I'm still trying to figure out how I can get past the details of your lips.
They right here. I mean, you know, I be using it.
Outline. I see the outline. The bottom was the top, but it's still
the bottom is bigger than the top.
But it's still
the bottom is bigger. For real. I don't know. I think that's the lip gloss. I was putting it on. The bottom bigger than the top. All right. My lips ain't even. Okay.
She does it. She does it for you, huh?
It doesn't matter. Listen, it ain't got to be even. It's just got to be chewable.
Hey, I do a little something.
Let
me go.
Yo, the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Check it out. Available on all streaming platforms. Hit me up in my Instagram under Aries Spears. Blue verification check mark. I chop it up with you. Send you the links in the DMs. Available on YouTube, Spearsburg Pod, episode 27 of Pussy Podcast. Listen to it. I'm a monster, baby. Love you.
Give it up.
We love you, Aries.
Thank you, Aries Spears. This was a hell of a ride. Good times, good times. Hell of a ride.
Let's have it twice. Let's have it twice.
Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Yes, because we got some more. We got some more.
Love you, ladies.
See you. Mwah.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. We've come to the end.
God damn. What?
You are something else. When you coming back to Florida?
Tomorrow. Oh, God damn it.
I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Mine is a motherfucker.
Well, thank you. Well, I get that. We get it from our mama. She good people.
Squeeze a little lime juice on that. Oof.
A little what? What kind of juice?
Lime juice.
Lime.
Go ahead with that.
You know, wait, right with the lime. Well, I was just saying, I just made a key lime pie yesterday. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I saved the key limes. They like little.
Just talking about some damn key limes. She just talking about some key limes. That's crazy.
And then your sister, Nellie, took it home because she was like, she gonna put it on her face. All right. You
All right.
We love you. We're so thankful for you.
Got it, baby.
Yes.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day. We'll talk.